Alright guys, we're back. Thank you guys for watching. I'm your boy DeAnthony. I'm my boy Don here.
What's up?
And we're Break Room Blitz if you didn't know.
You.
So this is going to be spoilers. Spoilers.
You've been warned.
Spoilers.
We're going to talk about it.
Definitely. So now you know.
Yeah.
So we went to go see Creed 2. Had to go see it. We're big Rocky fans. I'm a Creed fan.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of up there with John Wick.
Yeah.
If they come out with another one,
definitely
I'm going to go see it.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
It's like a new James Bond kind of thing going on.
Right. So, who we got in there and how's it doing?
So we have Michael B. Jordan, of course.
Michael B.
We got Sylvester Stallone.
Stallone.
Tessa Thompson.
Tessa Foyne.
And Dolph Lundgren.
Dolph.
So right now it's doing pretty well. IMDb is giving this a 8.1 out of 10.
8.1.
We got a Metacritic suspect score of 66 out of 100.
It's really a normal score for them.
It is.
The suspect one was The Widow.
Yeah.
With the Widows,
something.
they gave 86.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I don't know.
Metacritic.
Someone got bought.
Man.
And then Rotten Tomato, our tomato meter, we got a critic score of 82%, and we have a audience score of 92%.
92!
Now, if you haven't checked out our spoiler-free version and you don't want to hear more about this, then go check that out and let us know what you think. But you gave it a rating.
Yeah, I gave it a 4.8 just because I took 0.2 points off just because I thought the fight scenes could have been more intelligent.
Fight choreography.
It just could have had more. It didn't have to be all brute. You know, it could have been something that like when they told him to Sylvester told him to counter him.
Right.
And when he's going to leave his right hook out or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't really see that happen. I think I saw it once, but it wasn't like significant.
So like I think he was like saying like when he was like doing that, he was like boom, you know, telling him to do that, and I didn't see it.
Yeah, he didn't take advantage of it.
Yeah.
You know, so it just could have been a lot smarter. One of my favorite animes is a boxing anime. I don't know what it's called because it's only in the name is in Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of my favorite animes just to watch them box and how intelligent it is and the different styles that they have. This was just pretty much brute force. Yeah. And I thought that they could have done something a little different. It didn't have to be just brute.
Yeah.
They have different styles, you know, and people like swing the arm. Like, it could have been something.
And I like that about the older Rocky movies, like with Creed in it, like when they were showing him fighting, because like Creed was very like fluid, just like on his toes, hopping around, you know, and then boom, laying the haymakers, you know.
See, that's what I wanted to see.
Those styles
in the second one.
Right.
So I took 0.2 points off. Other than that, it was an outstanding movie. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 5.5 out of 5. Just perfect movie for me. I enjoyed myself. And the thing is like, yeah, there's like little nitpicks, but I'm not going to add up all these nitpicks and take it away from the movie because I just ultimately enjoyed myself. Like you were saying, the fight choreography could have been better. One of my favorite animes that I finished was called Megalobox. So if you haven't seen that, it's kind of new. It's like a futuristic boxing, but they take it back old school. So I highly recommend it if you want to see something different.
What the hell are you going to tell me about that?
Right now.
What the what the heck? I'm going to check that out.
Yeah.
So we just want to get into it, what we thought.
Get into it.
You know, some of the aspects of the movie, things. Like I said, it's going to be spoilers. So we're going to just jump right in here. One of the things that, I'm going to just say one of my favorite things about the movie was the true to life, because he's a young champion.
Yeah.
You know, he reminds me of like a Mike Tyson. He just won the championship. I think it was heavyweight, right?
Right.
Heavyweight champ.
Light heavyweight or something.
I don't know. I think it was heavyweight though.
I want to say light heavyweight.
Okay, fine. He's a champ.
Yeah.
And in real life he would be light heavyweight, but
right. Okay, heavyweight. Yeah. Let's go with that. Because Ivan Drago's
No, it was heavyweight. Huge. It was heavyweight because they were talking about they were wanted to see American.
That makes sense.
But anyway. And he was making decisions that were for young men to make, not like mature, seasoned men. To me, he was making a lot of bitch moves, a lot of bitch made decisions, and that's just because he's just young. He's young. He grew up with only his mom. He's not used to having male energy around. So when like Stallone didn't want to train him, he was just like, "Well, forget you then.
Yeah.
You gonna just abandon me? I don't need him."
Yeah.
And then you get your ass whooped. Whiz whooped.
Really
Whiz whooped. I
really
was like, damn.
Like you could see, and I like how they made it so clear that he was completely out of his element. Like you're not even ready to take a punch like this. Like boom,
Right from the first
and
punch
it
that
was
he blocked.
so impactful.
He blocked that
Oh, yeah.
first punch.
It was
and
just a-
went all the way back on the ropes.
It was just a stiff jab. It was like
that was so
yeah,
funny.
it was dope. Like it was so cool though.
I complained about the brute force, but it still was very impactful.
Right.
It was very vivid. It was like a real fight.
It was like a real fight.
So even though I complained, I'm not really complaining that much. I'm just saying it could have been just a little better, 2 points better.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was still a very fun movie to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun fights to watch. So that was my favorite thing about it, was just like how true to life the movie was. He wasn't like, oh, now I'm the champ, now I'm going to be all wise. And no, he still had those little boy, he had that little boy mentality.
Right.
You know, he had his pride. I gotta go fight for my father, and then get your ass whiz-wise whooped.
Right.
I was like, dang. And some of the things that I thought were movie moments, because I've had my ribs fractured, just fractured. Now his might have been fractured, but they say they look broke.
They're broke.
You break your ribs, you are not fighting anymore.
You can't breathe.
Exactly.
You cannot breathe.
So those are movie
like-
moments. Yes, you're on the ground.
Yeah.
Gasping for air.
Yeah.
So that was a movie moment, but, you know, who knows? Mind over matter.
He just rallied.
Right.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm like, nah, bruh.
Yeah.
You ain't fighting no full round.
I broke my back. It's spinal.
Exactly. That's what you be sounding like.
Right.
That's what you be feeling like.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I did really like it. Well, you have a favorite part?
Yeah, I have a favorite part when he's talking about Rocky again about taking the fight, and the thing is like he wanted to take the fight just to like prove himself and like take revenge, and so I like that energy, like that conflict, and when Rocky breaks it down, and there's so many of these moments in the movie where they're like very dramatic, and like he's looking out for him. He's being that like father figure, his like teacher, his sensei. He's just like you don't need to take this fight. This guy has nothing to lose. You have everything to lose, and a guy like that is dangerous.
And that's so true.
Yeah, and his dad was in the same situation. His dad had everything going for him. He didn't even need to take the fight, but that pride aspect. Now, he was younger than his dad was when he took that Drago fight.
Right.
His dad was already closer to retirement, and everyone was telling him he doesn't have it anymore.
Right.
And this one, he just had to prove himself that everyone that he's beat so far has been like already close to retirement. So they showed that he fought Andre Ward or whatever his character was.
Right.
And it's like, oh, he only beat him because he was like, 2 years after retirement or whatever away.
Yeah, people in boxing really say that. It really irritates me. Like, they got in the ring.
Right, right.
I don't give a damn.
For me, it's more, just boxing lingo. just like catch weight. When like they're coming up or going down and trying to, find that like different weight class. To me, that's like more of like the suspect moves going on. But in boxing, it turns out great because you got two guys that are, top of their weight class and they're just taking out the competition. It only makes sense to like, find that weight class to, fight. Anyway, that has nothing to do with this, but Home Dude was towering over him. He was like looking like a foot taller than the guy, but super yoked.
Right.
When I didn't see it, but I thought his son was shorter, Drago. Victor. The son's name is Victor. Victor Drago, his son, was taller than him.
Well, when you get old, you do shrink.
All right,
So,
yeah.
We'll give him that.
But they were like right there. So it was a perfect height and everything. So it was just like he's facing a tower now, and he got whooped. I'm glad they did that. It was a little predictable when I saw that he was gonna land that punch when he was already on the ground. I was just like, oh man, he's gonna be disqualified if he punches him like this right now. Yeah, and that's the only way he's gonna.
That's the only part that was predictable for me because they got to the fight so quick.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh well, he's about to lose, but it's gonna be a disqualification,
right?
Because if I was Drago and I actually beat you, I have no reason to give you a rematch.
Right.
Absolutely not. So I was like, well, they're going to have to fight again because that's going to be the end of the movie.
Right.
So it's going to be a disqualification. So I was able to predict that. which is okay.
Were you okay with that?
Yeah, I was fine with that.
Oh, okay.
Because how else? How else would you have that conflict? You need that conflict in the movie to be like, oh snap, how are you going to get through this?
Yeah.
So I understand, but I wish it would have been just a little. I don't know. I would have wanted maybe they fought in the street.
Oh, okay.
And then they fought legitly.
Hey, I would have liked that too, because in the 5th Rocky movie, I like that Stallone fought that other dude that he was training in the street.
Right.
I did like that street fight.
Exactly.
But they kind of gave it to us in the training montage too, when he takes them like out of like the city and like kind of like away from everyone and like was training like with those
in the trailer.
Yeah, like some of those Mexican dudes.
When he's getting hit in the stomach with the
ball.
The ball.
Yeah.
So they did give it away in the trailer too. But I already knew how it was going to happen. My idea, I felt would have been better. But it was still great to watch.
It was
not
good.
trying to bash it at all.
I'm glad that like they actually just like did that though. Like for him to get his ass whooped so bad, as bad as he did. I mean, he was done in the first round.
Oh man, I'll be done boxing.
Yeah.
Like, this ain't for me.
Right.
Because I can't be. His cheekbones was broken in.
Oh yeah.
Ribs was broke. He was all tied up to tubes in the hospital. Absolutely not.
And they showed like the aftermath too, like him just trying to recover and being in a wheelchair and like, you know, waking up in the middle of the night and not being able to sleep, pissing blood. I mean,
physical therapy.
Yeah, exactly.
Physical therapy.
Yeah.
You need to just sit down.
Yeah.
That's not for you no more.
And Rocky told him, you know, there are things that, you know, he broke that have never been fixed, you know.
Right.
And that's legit, man.
Oh,
a lot of boxers, you know, they take so many hits to the head that, like, I mean, they don't have their sense about them anymore. You know, they don't have their wits. It takes away from their like response time.
I never wanted to box. Now I did like to fight as a kid, but I never wanted to box. But so another thing that I really liked that I thought was very well put together was Drago and his dad's relationship.
Oh man!
And the character development that we get, because he starts the dad starts out like a hard ass,
right?
You know, do what I say. Do if I say run faster, you run faster.
No. When he woke him up in the morning, Victor's sleeping in the couch, and then his dad goes over and just punches him in the face. Boom. It's just like,
it wasn't in the face. It was in his chest.
All right, it was in his chest. Well, I was like.
Yeah,
exactly.
That was a little, but you know, I was okay with that. You know, it's a little fatherly son. You know,
rule number 1: always defend yourself.
Rough, tough love. You know.
Yeah.
But when he was like, when I say run faster, you run faster.
Yeah.
Break him. What I trained you to beat him. You're embarrassing us. Like he was a hard ass, and then you got to see that when his country and his mama.
That's the thing that tripped me out, because when they showed the house, there was a couple of family photos. I was wondering the whole time, like, what happened to his mom? Did his mom die too? Like, what happened with Rocky and his wife?
No, she left his ass.
She just straight left them. She left them both. And so,
exactly.
And so Ivan's gonna like be a father, stick around, and raise his son.
So when they both left again, you see how his father's like, you know what? All I really have is me and my son.
Yeah.
I don't have my country. I don't have my my wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go ahead and be a real father. So you saw how they actually grew.
Right.
You know, he throws in the towel. You know, because he was like, "This is all I got."
Yeah.
You know, I don't have nothing else. So if he dies or gets seriously injured, I have nothing else but my son. Mm-hmm. And I really appreciate that. Anything with a father and son, I always say this: I didn't really have a good relationship with my dad like that. So anything with a father and son, I'm all for it. So I really did appreciate that.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm going to mention, just real quick.
Mm-hmm.
What's her? Can you get the names? Claire Huxtable.
Yeah.
Rashad. No, what's her name? Felicia Rashad. That's her name.
There you go.
I love seeing her on screen. What she brought to the movie, I thought was perfect. Her facial expressions, the sayings that she would do. I thought it was like a classic mom. I love seeing her on screen. She brought a lot to the story. I really appreciate it.
She was good. She was good. Her character was so consistent. Just like, and they gave her, you know, some people in some movies, they just like outshine other actors, but she stood and like her own like little like scenes, you know, apart from these actors, you know.
Absolutely.
Like I think one of the ones where like he's like thinking about taking the fight, and she's like, "You don't need me to tell you it's okay. You're a grown man. Like your dad already did that same thing. So you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna go in the ring and die against the same family, and you got a son or a daughter, little baby coming soon. So you're what?
Hope you don't leave your family like your dad did.
Exactly.
I was like, dang.
So the same flaws of the dad, just kind of come back to haunt him.
Right, and you can see how his wife, like when they're at the final fight, how his wife is looking at her and gaining strength from how strong the mom was. She looks over at her and she see how the mom was just focused,
right?
And she's like, wow. So her as a mom, I felt like she played the part perfectly. Mm-hmm. She gave what the son needed. She gave what his wife needed.
Yeah.
And that's really all you can do as a parent, like that.
She's a strong woman, yeah, and she's a great mother. You can tell, I love the scene when she finds out that what's her name? Jesus Christ.
I don't know. The wife?
The wife is pregnant. Tessa Thompson.
Yeah, Tessa.
So I love that scene. She's just like, oh, she's pregnant.
Right.
You're telling me everything. You're glowing.
Hair's all shining.
Yeah. And I'm like, well, I think she's drinking wine right now. And right when she takes a sip,
she spits it out.
Yeah.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's like she called it, and you're not going to
We are missing mothers like that. I feel like your mom was like that. Like that intuition, know what to say. Like, I don't know. That classic mom, it's just not around. It needs to be on TV more.
Yeah.
But to get off of her real quick, Sylvester Stallone.
Whew. So like a father figure, basically.
Right, a father figure.
So
what do you think about Sylvester Stallone? Does he get an award-winning performance this time?
Not this time. I think we'll give that to Michael B. Jordan this time around.
Oh yeah, Michael B. He said, "Ain't no one else getting no award but me."
Yeah.
We gonna make sure this time.
Yeah.
That I'm winning any award that's handed out for this movie. Unless it's the director and the score, it's gonna be for me.
Yeah, nominated. Yeah,
right.
He deserves it, and it shows. Because I felt like it was Stallone the first time watching that first Creed movie, and I was like I had feeling, I felt it. I was just like, whoa, this is very impactful. But this time around, I felt it for Michael because it shows his struggle. Now Stallone, he was a funny character in this one, but he was that a good father figure in this one too. But he also had his own issues being an actual father. He was better at being that uncle, hey Unc, where you going, and giving him advice. But he did have struggle trying to just even call his own son legit son and see his grandchildren. But I like that he kind of recovered from his cancer. He was diagnosed in the previous one. He was taking a lot of pills though, and every single time that he would go visit his wife at the grave with Polly in the grave, and they would have that breakdown.
That's so weird to me. I work at a cemetery, and I see a lot of people, some of the same people, there all the time. I'm like, wow, is that a thing? But obviously, it is. But it's just weird to me. So when he was doing it, I'm like, she's dead, man. You gotta learn how to pray, brother. You gotta learn how to pray. You can't just be talking to dead people.
Well, it gets him out of the house.
Sorry if I offend anybody.
Let's just say
I know I offend people.
Let's say that it gets him out of the house, and that people have a different way of coping, and that's his.
It's been 40 years.
It's all good, man.
She's gone.
It's no amount of time can change that.
No, she's gone. No.
So I just like that, he's just kind of talking to himself, but he is talking, to her.
I thought his role was very pivotal. I wasn't sure if he was gonna die. Yeah. Because he was like, it's your time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? What's that mean? Yeah. What the hell does that mean?
Yeah. Don't you do this to me.
Right. We need another movie out of you, okay?
Right. Exactly.
You gotta stay around.
You're gonna be the new Mickey training like Mickey was to you, okay?
Right.
Yeah. So
now that could be a good third one.
Right.
If you are gonna do it.
Do full circle.
Right.
From the boxing champion contender to the champ to the trainer to the old school trainer.
Right. Do it right.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it.
Exactly.
So
I can see that happening.
Him as a father, to me, I understand. Because when you've been I can't imagine if I've been going on my son's life for 20-some years or however long it's been, I think I would feel a certain way, a little guilt, a little shame calling because
Right.
you don't ever know how they're gonna respond.
Yeah.
Will he accept my call? Will he tell me just to get the hell out of here?
Mhm.
So I admire the courage that it took for him to actually go and knock on the door.
Yeah.
Forget a phone call.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just knock on the door, see what happens,
Mhm.
because tomorrow is not promised.
Mhm.
So I really like that, and I like how they got the same son from Part 6, I believe it was.
Yeah. Part 6.
Got the same son,
Yeah.
and because I like him as an actor.
Yeah.
He's on This Is Us. Everyone knows that movie or that show.
I remember Heroes. So.
And Heroes.
Yeah.
So it was good to see him, and he welcomed his dad in. You know, so I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
His role, the taking Creed or Michael B. Jordan out to the desert and training was perfect. When
Oh,
they were
that was
doing the
good.
training at the loser camp, it's like, why
Right.
would you go there? You beat they top contender.
Yeah, and
No.
so like he kind of brought what he did, you know, when he went to Russia. You know, he had to go to Russia and train in the mountains in the snow where they didn't have any equipment. You know, and so he was kind of showing him that brutal training. All right, get to running. You know, and then it's just hot in the heat, and here's a hammer, and go hack
Well,
at
my
the ground.
favorite part is when they get into the ring and they get into the tire.
The tire, that's a real thing, man.
Two people get into the tire, and you just gotta just sock it out till someone give up.
You got to stay in the pocket. You know, you could move, dip, dodge. You know, cover the body, but you're gonna be throwing
Right,
too.
that was my shit because I always go back to my anime. To me, this is like a really good anime story.
Yeah.
One of my favorite animes is Yu Yu Hakusho, and they do a knife battle where they put the knife on two ends, and each opponent steps their foot on, or step one foot on the knife, and they can't move, and they just going at it. You move backwards, you cut your foot, and just going at it. So it reminded me of that. I thought it was really dope.
That's crazy.
And I loved how he overcame, because at first he was getting his ass whiz whoops
Oh yeah. Oh,
in the
yeah.
circle.
It's like, I'm gonna work that body. Where's that broken rib?
Right, and they was laughing at him.
Yeah.
You know, so when he overcame that, I was hyped for him.
I'm the new champ.
Right, right. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
Exactly.
Like, bro, this
Yeah.
is training, okay?
Right.
Calm
Exactly.
down.
Yeah.
But I was still hyped for him, though.
Yeah. I like seeing that character development just in his training.
Him getting hit with that ball
Oof.
was great.
That was.
I love
great.
seeing anyone getting jacked up. It doesn't matter if you're training,
Yeah.
real life. Well, not real life, but you know, in the actual real fight.
Real fight. Yeah.
I loved it all. So him getting bah.
Yeah.
that was just funny to me.
That was brutal.
I laugh when people get jacked up in movies, so
Yeah.
you gotta forgive me.
Yeah.
That's how you know. That's how I know it's good. If I'm not laughing through an action movie or through the action, it's
Yeah.
not good
Right.
to me. So I'm the only one in the theater laughing
Yeah.
and the loudest, and I don't care though.
He's the comedic relief.
But I thought that's what Sylvester brought to his training was great, because all that shadow boxing in the water.
Oh man. No.
What are you, Ronda Rousey?
Right.
What are you talking about, man?
Got to be dodging those shadow kicks is what I like to call it. Is like, be ready for that shadow kick.
Exactly, and
Shadow
you need
box.
a big person, obviously,
Right.
to train with.
Exactly. Yeah. And
All
so
this shadow boxing, hitting the bag.
I'm glad that like when he went in that tire, you know, toe to toe with the dude was a big dude. You know,
Right.
it's like you're gonna fight someone like this anyway, so get used to it. Boom,
Right.
boom, boom.
Exactly.
You know, take these body shots too.
Don't have that false sense of success.
Now, Victor Drago's training was just as intense, and I like seeing that too.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Because he was doing the whole like, you know, push-ups and then like the flying ropes. And then he got up and then did a couple of these and then went back to doing something else. And
Yeah, it was
dude,
pretty intense.
it was nuts.
And he was huge doing all this.
Oh, and he had cardio, like running, like
Yeah.
like you said,
Yeah.
like, you know, his dad was like driving a car right behind him and started speeding up on him. It's like, you need to run faster.
And that's the only thing I don't like about UFC is that a lot of people don't have cardio.
Oh,
They don't
get
run. I
gassed
don't like
out.
to run. What are you talking about? That's what you should be doing. Whatever you don't like to do is the one thing you should be doing.
Because like their fights are like way different than boxers. Like Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, he goes to Big Bear. He trains in high altitude. He goes for a long ass run, you know. And so they need to prepare for that 12-round fight.
Well, so does Conor McGregor.
Conor McGregor
Okay.
got gassed out, and with the little bit of weight of gloves that he had, he couldn't keep his hands up. I knew that shit was gonna happen. Anyway,
So that's what I would want to see. So
Cardio.
I love seeing them doing that road work.
Yeah.
Because it just reminds me of old school
Yeah.
boxing movies.
All right, go for a run. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
You don't need any special, equipment for running,
Exactly.
Put some shoes on, go run.
Get your ass up and go for a run.
Exactly.
Anything that you disliked?
Anything that I disliked?
Nope. No.
Not really. I mean, I think that the only thing was the fight choreography. I think it could have been better. I kind of felt like the first movie had a little bit better fight choreography.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It seemed a little more
directors-
realistic in the first one. This
Yeah.
one gave you more like CG slow mo.
Right.
Yeah, so they both had like their ups and downs, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't really dislike anything in it either. I have my nitpick about the fighting, but honestly,
and the music. When the music comes on and
Music
it's
was
like
good.
that old school Rocky, and they're fighting in the ring.
oh yeah.
So I'm like dun 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 dun. If that doesn't get you hyped
I
up,
wish they would have played it all the way out though.
yeah,
They gave a little homage to it,
right,
but I wouldn't. They should have just finished it.
Yeah.
Really. But that is one of my favorite
and then Eye of the Tiger. You need that
tunes.
every Rocky movie. But it's cool.
Another thing that I also liked was even the dynamic or the plot of him and his wife having his daughter,
Yeah,
and they being like scared the daughter would be mute or
disabled.
deaf.
Yeah, deaf.
And honestly, as a parent, I get that. You want your kid to be
It's like I just want to be healthy,
100% healthy,
healthy baby.
But I felt that being that you saw how his mom was and how she dealt with it,
Hmm.
your daughter would be okay, man.
Right, exactly.
So, and I liked how Sylvester was like, well, what if she is deaf? What are
Yeah.
you going to do? I can't think like that. No, you need to go there.
You need to like
How are you going to
prepare
respond to
yourself. Yeah,
that? So I like that. Sometimes in life, you got to just bite the bullet. You got to just face your fears.
Mhm.
You can't be like, oh, I can't think like that. And then
Yeah.
when it happens, you be like, you don't know how to react to it.
right.
So I
yeah.
thought that his interference with that was
Mhm.
great
Yeah.
because they actually got over it.
Right, exactly.
And we got to see him with his daughter
Yeah, because
at the gym.
that was great. That was great
He's like,
because
Daddy, a monster.
yeah, exactly.
He's like, no! I'm
Right.
like,
It's like, why is he punching the ground right now? What's going on? Don't you need to wrap your no?
I thought it would have been
Um,
great if, even better, if maybe she started crying or laughing,
Mhm.
because then maybe it meant she really wasn't
Right.
deaf.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's okay either way.
It is what it is,
Right.
But I mean, the dynamic with the mom doing her own thing and coming up too, because she got her record label deal with the Illuminati records or something.
Yeah, there are definitely some Illuminati stuff going on here.
Right.
I mean, the whole Apollo Creed, you got the Apollo, Creed means belief. So you have belief in Apollo. You have, what is Sylvester Stallone? What's his character's name?
Rocky Balboa.
Rocky Balboa. Baal is another word for Satan or Lucifer. So there's those things in there.
Yeah.
But I didn't really bring them out. But
Yeah, we're not gonna break it down.
Since
but
you said something,
I said it because, dude, when she goes to sing, we got a triangle, and then when he goes out to the ring the first time, he has
Right.
a light up
Yeah,
triangle.
Illuminati triangle.
So I mean, it's just little things like that, but it's just ooh, Illuminati. Oh, great, these guys are theorists.
I mean, Sylvester Stallone,
but I have to throw it out there.
he's in the craft, so it's not like I'm surprised. I'm not surprised,
Yeah.
but there was enough substance for me to not really trip about it.
Yeah.
But it is good to know these things. That the reason why they're called Apollo. What was his character's name? What was
Apollo Creed,
No, his son. What's his son's name? Even his name. What's the son?
Johnson,
The boy.
Adonis.
Adonis.
Yeah.
That's also a god.
Yeah,
So
Apollo and Adonis.
They're into the craft.
Right.
It's not, they're just not coming up with these names for nothing out of nowhere. Adonis.
Yeah,
No, they're picking the name because it represents the craft that Sylvester Stallone is in.
there you go.
So, but it's okay. As long as you know those things, you can kind of push the crap away to actually be entertained.
Right.
But it is good to know those things so you're not hypnotized into that stuff because that's really what it's for.
So
And
I'm gonna name my son Creed and Adonis and some shit bullshit. I don't
Right.
know. Yeah.
No, don't. If you are a believer, don't be doing that type of stuff. But anyway,
wrap
anything
it
else
up.
you want?
I think I just highly recommend seeing this movie. There was a lot of good movies out this holiday season, and I think that they came out in full force. We got to see a bunch of them for you guys, so check those other videos out. Give us some likes. Let us know what you think. Did you like this movie better than the first one, or does this one, overcome that?
Right. What you guys think about the fight scenes? Was it something that could have been improved upon or tightened up?
Yeah.
Or were you just like thrilled? Let us know, because maybe we tripping.
Right. So, I mean, I highly recommend seeing this movie. This week is probably one of my favorite movies, for sure.
It's one of my favorite movies of the year, for sure.
Yeah.
It's top 5 of the year, for sure.
I think it's going to be like, I don't know, maybe top 10. It's up there for sure. Yeah.
I don't know, 10?
Yeah.
Well,
all right. There's a lot of really good movies this year.
The end of the year is coming up. We're going to do a top 10 countdown.
Wrap up, yep.
So stay tuned to that, and we'll see where it lands. But I'm thinking it's going to be top 5 at least. If not top 3, top 5. So, all right, guys. Where can we find you?
Oh, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram at PwnedPops, PWNEDPOPS. If you say that you found me through YouTube, I'll give you a discount.
Oh, there you go. Discounts, everybody.
Free shipping. Just by dropping Break Room Blitz. Hey, I like your channel. I give you a like.
I like that right there.
Yeah. I just thought about it right now.
Good man.
Yeah.
You can find us on the social media, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Break Room Blitz. We're all over. So if you want to know what's going on, what movies we're going to go see, what have we put out, go ahead and check that out. Okay?
All right.
Okay. All right, guys. We're out.
Peace.
Peace.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
That was pretty dope. I gotta get that anime from you though.